Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons' new connection to Legos. So I'm really excited about Dungeons and Dragons being clicked in to the Lego multiverse, right? So Dungeons and Dragons has so Dungeons and Dragons, we're going to get an official Dungeons and Dragons Lego set. So the Dungeons and Dragons world, we will get official Dungeons and Dragons locations, official Dungeons and Dragons characters, official Dungeons and Dragons entities, official Dungeons and Dragons artifacts, and those characters, those locations, those entities, those artifacts of Dungeons and Dragons will be formed into relationships with the Lego world, right? So when those two worlds slam together, right, through the official connection from the Lego company and through the official connection through the Dungeons and Dragons company, how will those worlds interact? And there are going to be a myriad of ways that the Dungeons and Dragons Lego combination will expand the multiverse of both official intellectual properties worlds, right? And the one I want to focus on today is Bionicles. So I'll talk a little bit about my history with Bionicles, and which is concurrent with my history with Dungeons and Dragons. So so actually, my history with Lego actually goes back beyond my history with Dungeons and Dragons. So I was incredibly blessed in 1977. My parents have a beautiful picture of me holding an X-wing I built with Legos. And so when I was 7 years old, and I built my first X-wing with Legos, and all the colors were wrong, and and the nacelles were not where they should be, and the wings did not open, But I remember just holding that thing with a T-shirt that said "Darth Vader lives," right? And so I have a long relationship with Legos, but probably the sweetest memory I have with Legos is not from my childhood, but from being a father. So my eldest son, he enjoyed Bionicles. He loved Bionicles. And it was so amazing. I could go to the store and I could buy him a Bionicle. And when we would get this Bionicle, it would come in a box or in a plastic can. Those are the best. And we would bring it back, and there were never more than like 20 parts. But you could build this action figure out of Legos. It was just a pile of parts, but you built the Bionicle, right? And I remember just sitting with my oldest son when he was as early as like 5 years old, I think. We built our first Bionicle, and I think we built Bionicles together until he was about 10 years old. And we had no less than 25, maybe as many as 50 of these things, right? And it was just such a joy. And you would get the Bionicle and you would build the Bionicle together, and in literally 10, 15 minutes, you went from having a pile of parts to having this awesome action figure. And then as you grew your collection, you could interpose their legs, their arms, their head, their weapons, and actually they would ride these surfboards. Bionicles had a Hawaiian theme, right? It took inspiration from Hawaii. Matanui was one of the Bionicle islands, and they would have they surfed these constructs. Bionicles are constructs. They were made completely of metal, right? They were living metal, right? So the Bionicles are the Warforged of the Lego world, right? And they were just so joyful. But the idea of intermixing them, I think, so when the D&D world and the Lego world combine, and there begin to be planar travelers from both directions, right? The Bionicles traveling to the Forgotten Realms, right? And the Ninjago characters traveling to Eberron, right? The Lego City, the Lego City characters, police and first responders, traveling to Exandria, right? What happens when King Dwendalius sends a diplomacy, a dispatch from Exandria all the way over to Lego City, right? And to ride the monorail, right? And it's really exciting. But I think the first thing that will happen is when you slam these worlds together, right? There's this chaos of magic, right? And I think what I'm most looking forward to is the almost instant alliance that will occur between Eberron's Warforged, who have traversed all through the Dungeons and Dragons realms. I think they will ally very quickly and very powerfully. There will be a very natural fit, right, between the cultures of the Warforged constructs and the cultures of the living constructs, the Bionicles. They will have a natural, enmity is the opposite of enmity. They will have a natural affinity toward one another, right? Because even though they come from worlds apart, worlds beyond, right? They both still know what it means to be crafted, right? And then for those non-organic parts to gain feeling and gain sentience, right? And I'm really excited about this beautiful connection, this click of D&D to Lego, right? And I'm just massively excited about the innumerable possibilities. And also, I'm really excited too about two things I love being joined, right? And it just really reminds me powerfully of the wonderful memories I have of just sitting with my son and building these Bionicles one by one. I think we may have owned as many as like 75 of them. We still have some in the basement, which is, and I have to say something like, so my son loved Bionicles from about when he was 10 to when he was 5 to 10. And I'm definitely one of those parents where my kids just walk away from stuff, which I get. Like we outgrow certain things, but I sweep them into my collection, right? And then there are points where I'm like, hey, I have these 35 Bionicles. Do you want them? My kids are like, nah, I don't want them, right? But I can't get rid of them, and so I still have all these Bionicles. I definitely don't have all our Bionicles. I think we may have given some away or sold some. Oh, I think we did sell some because some of them were quite valuable. I think we may be down to like 5 to 15, and now I'm gonna have to like delve my own home like a dungeon to find the Bionicles because they are now Dungeons and Dragons materials, right? I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about the massive expansion of the Dungeons and Dragons world into these hugely exciting and wonderful new worlds. What are you excited about with the click between Dungeons and Dragons and Lego? I'd love to hear your stories. Let me know in the comments below, or respond to my video with your own video. I'd love any of that. Please comment below, and please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful millennium.